Welcome to From the Press Box, your show for all things sports.
Right, Jamal. But the Minnesota Lynx have made news in politics. The reigning WNBA champion Minnesota Lynx took a trip to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
It's been almost 1 year since the Lynx swept the Atlanta Dream and claimed the championship title. But the 2012 London Games and a busy schedule for President Obama delayed the traditional visit to the White House.
During the long-awaited meeting with Mr. President, he told the team that they were great ambassadors for the game of basketball and strong role models for his own daughters.
President Obama says the Lynx have returned glory to the Twin City.
Which is good because what have they been doing there?
Exactly. The Vikings and the Timberwolves, nothing.
Okay, but on the better news, the much-anticipated NFL season is here, and a local high school is responsible for breeding talent on at least 5 of those 32 teams.
Stevenson High School, that is, in Stone Mountain, led the state of Georgia with 5 alumni on NFL rosters on opening day.
According to the National Football League data, Stevenson tied for second in the country with 2 other schools, but follows just behind a school in a neighboring state.
St. Thomas Aquinas High School of Fort Lauderdale, Florida is #1 with 9 alumni in the NFL this season. Georgia ranks 4th in the nation in NFL players at 91.
The Toronto Blue Jays are without shortstop Yunel Escobar after he displayed a slur.
Escobar has been suspended for 3 games without pay for displaying a gay slur on his eye black.
The suspension was announced Tuesday after a meeting at Commissioner Bud Selig's office. Escobar remains apologetic and said, quote, "I don't have anything against homosexuals." He went on to say, "I'd like to ask for apologies of all those who have been offended by this."
Escobar will lose more than $92,000 during his 3-game suspension.
Can't we all just get along, Jamal? A little bit of kumbaya, you know?
Just a little bit. Okay, well, stay tuned. More From the Press Box is straight ahead.
There's an excitement every time you walk through here, and I've been fortunate over the last year to kind of sneak in from time to time and watch the progress that they've made. And now when you see the finished product, you get even more excited about it because you realize that we've been able to build a state-of-the-art facility, opening up a new chapter to Georgia Tech basketball, while at the same time having a strong connection to our rich tradition and our great history. With the great players and coaches like Coach Cremens highlighted in the arena, the old court all throughout the arena, including the main center court area. All those things are important because if you want to build a great program, you got to make sure that you have a connection to the past as well. And I think this arena acts as kind of that connection. And I think it's wonderful. It's going to be exciting, and it's going to be a great place to play. Our guys have had a good summer, having a good fall so far, and the progress that they're making. I only hope that the progress they make mirrors the progress that's been made in this arena. I think our guys have improved as individuals, and now we need to come together as a team. Any quality team is defined usually by its leadership and the chemistry and its competitive toughness, and those are 3 areas that we're, as a program, we focus on every day. We're the deepest and best league in the country now, and when you add another storied, rich, traditional program like Notre Dame, it only adds to that. Not only have they had great success, but they fit the model of a program that does things the right way, puts student athletes first, and has a tremendous fan base. So it's a great addition, and at the same time, coming from the Midwest, growing up, watching Notre Dame through all those years, it'll be a kind of a thrill to be able to compete against them on a daily basis.
At McCamish Pavilion, I'm Jamal Williams reporting from the Press Box.
Welcome back to From the Press Box, your favorite sports show. Now it's time for Hurry Up Offense.
You're right, so let's jump into the first question. Were the Bucks out of line for going after the Giants in victory formation?
No, they were not. Okay. First of all, let's get something straight. If you're familiar with football, you know that it's Greg Schiano's style, which he did at Rutgers, to do that finish the game play. So while it may be an unspoken rule for the NFL, these guys simply did what they were coached to do. Now, whether it was right or wrong, that's for someone else's discretion, but they simply did what they were coached to do. You got to follow the coach.
You're right. They were coached to do this, and the coach was wrong. Let's look at it this way. You're coached to play the full 60 minutes, and right before halftime with 2 seconds, the Giants take a knee to go in the locker room. The Bucs players walk off the field. That means they played 59 minutes and 58 seconds. That's not the full 60. At the end of the game, you know you're going to lose. Why go after it and risk hurting your player and the other team's players? He said, you know, Greg Schiano, he defended himself. He said it worked in college. Well, this is the pros. And the 2 times it worked in his entire career at Rutgers, it was 2009 against Pitt and West Virginia University. And guess what happened after he got the fumble? They lost. So why risk injury on something that could blow your entire career? Because crossing like a Coach Coughlin, that's a career ender.
That is true, and Justin Tuck also said he's not going to forget it. So we'll see how this plays out if they meet again.
All right, well, that concludes another episode of From the Press Box.
You can always join us on YouTube or like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at FTP_tweets.
Instead of our moment in sports history, we would like to give a tribute to Steve Sabol. He was instrumental in bringing fans closer to the game with NFL films. He used video, sound, and the legacy of the game to draw even the passive fan to the NFL.
For 40 years, the Eagles and Cowboys have proven his point. There's been no brotherly love between these two franchises. Over the years, NFL Films has produced videos about all the great championship football teams. Lombardi's Packers, the undefeated Dolphins, the Steel Curtain, and the great 49er teams.
Different. In the history of NFL Films, there are 4 coaches that really supported us and opened up the playing field for NFL Films. First was Lombardi, who understood the historical nature and the fact, the value of us filming the games and him wearing a mic.
In the early days of the American Football League, Kansas City and Oakland were the 2 best teams in the Western Division. And that's when the Old West was really wild.
His voice was unique, and his mission was purposeful. We thank Steve Sabol for keeping the NFL a staple in homes of NFL sports fans around the world. Steve Sabol was 69.
On the run, 2-on-1, Green the finish. Wow! Look out! Later to goal, gets the shot. These fans remember where they were at and what happened today. Team on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to From the Press Box, your show for all things sports.
Right, Jamal. But the Minnesota Lynx have made news in politics. The reigning WNBA champion Minnesota Lynx took a trip to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
It's been almost 1 year since the Lynx swept the Atlanta Dream and claimed the championship title. But the 2012 London Games and a busy schedule for President Obama delayed the traditional visit to the White House.
During the long-awaited meeting with Mr. President, he told the team that they were great ambassadors for the game of basketball and strong role models for his own daughters.
President Obama says the Lynx have returned glory to the Twin City.
Which is good because what have they been doing there?
Exactly. The Vikings and the Timberwolves, nothing.
Okay, but on the better news, the much-anticipated NFL season is here, and a local high school is responsible for breeding talent on at least 5 of those 32 teams.
Stevenson High School, that is, in Stone Mountain, led the state of Georgia with 5 alumni on NFL rosters on opening day.
According to the National Football League data, Stevenson tied for second in the country with 2 other schools, but follows just behind a school in a neighboring state.
St. Thomas Aquinas High School of Fort Lauderdale, Florida is #1 with 9 alumni in the NFL this season. Georgia ranks 4th in the nation in NFL players at 91.